Is my screen visible?
Yes.
So two things I created. This one is I took from by default thing, and this one is a key check, whichever you provided. So this one. So same code I'm using actually. So I'm getting IC.
You click on this drop down.
Oh, which this one?
Yes. You do not have IAM list user permission in the IAM role. Go back on the Lambda function. You have to go in configurations. Permissions. Yeah. Click on the role. Okay, come down. See, you only have basic execution role. You have to add the IAM access to this. So click on add permissions. Attach policy. Type IAM in the filter box above.
IAM.
Yes, you can provide IAM full access or IAM read-only access. Any one of these will work.
Okay.
Now run the function again. Just refresh this page once now. Okay. Now go back there, code and execute this.
Okay. And also while creating, right, if you don't give that blueprint, it's asking some key pair thing.
Where?
Okay, so suppose I'm creating a new one. So I'm using a author from scratch. Same time.
Not ask any key pair things.
No, it's like an output example sample it was asking. I think I missed something. Oh yeah, by creating this one only configuration test even.
This is actually.
See, this one I copied from. Oh yeah, this one even JSON, right? So this one,
See,
how it? This is taken from Hello World. Actually. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No, this is actually an input that you have that you are passing. Let me share my screen. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if you come here, if I log it in, so if we have you gone through the video recording of the last Saturday class?
Yeah, stress section. Yeah.
Okay, so it is function lambda. So see, in that class, if you have seen, we are training this function with the, I mean, sorry, not this one, file identity. So yeah, we are triggering this function with the help of a S3 trigger, correct?
Yeah, right.
Now S3 trigger gives you this kind of value, correct?
Hmm.
Now what if you are doing some development and you want to, trigger it multiple times? So you have to move your file or upload a file multiple times. And let's say you want to test it from here. In that case, what you can do, you can come here, configure test event. You can say event name as test, or you can say mock input, something like this. I mean, just give a meaningful name, and you can replace the one of the existing input here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can replace it like this. If you want to use this, so this input basically going to be represented in event variable. Okay. So if I
Mm-hmm.
execute this now, it's going to get executed with the that input. It's still going to say the source file is pepsi.jpg because we are using the hard coded input now. It's not dynamic anymore.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, Ashwarya and Ritesh, you guys have any questions?
No, Jalaj, I'm good as of now.
Okay. So then we have few settings. Okay, let's go through those which we might use day-to-day basis. Okay. So that is in the configuration part. So if your Lambda function fails with a timeout error, you have to come in configurations, general configurations, and then you have to, enhance these things. Like if you want more memory, more ephemeral storage, or more timeout, you can enhance this. Maximum is actually 15 minutes. No Lambda function can run beyond 15 minutes. That is AWS thing. Okay. You can modify your role here also. Existing role, you can choose a different role, or else you have uh, this permissions page. So here also you can click on the role and edit this as per your convenience. Then triggers you can check from here. See, in the details part, sometimes what will happen to you, you have the setup, trigger set it up perfectly, but trigger state is going to be disabled. Okay, so you'll have to check for that. Oh, just a second. It is not here. Okay, so right now this trigger is actually enabled. If I'm not wrong. Okay, we can edit this trigger. Okay, if you want in the future, you can also edit this trigger. So I think the state one is actually on with DynamoDB only. It is not here. In DynamoDB, we can have triggers, multiple triggers, and one of them can be disabled or enabled. But yeah, you can ignore that part. It is always going to be enabled only. But yeah, triggers page will appear here. Okay. Then you have destinations. It is nothing but you can add some destinations. It is not a storage. Okay. This destination does not mean to store your data. It destination basically means informing next thing. Okay, those destinations can be SNS topic. SNS is simple notification service, AWS service that can send emails, messages, and those things. Then we have SQSQ, one more Lambda function, and event bridge, event bus. Only 4 destinations we have as of now. Not much of use. Okay, basically it means on failure what you would like to do. Maybe you like to drop an email, or on success what you would like to do. Maybe you want to drop an email or trigger next Lambda functions. Like that it works. Then if you come back, function URL. So as we are not web developers, it's not going to be worth of creating this, but yeah, it's free of cost. Just click on create URL, click on save. You will get a URL assigned to your Lambda function. So whenever you hit the URL, the function is going to be executed. Yeah, then one more thing is environment variables. Okay, so let me open one different function.
Jalaj, I have one quick question. Do we have to plan? Do we have a plan to cover today Glue or Lambda will be a topic for today?
I have planned to start with glue.
Okay.
Okay. So no, this is not the one. Just a second. Yeah, it is this one. Okay. So here, if you come in the configurations part, you have one interesting thing, that is environment variables. Okay. So basically, you can create key value pairs of variables, like here it says destination bucket and the actual bucket name. Okay. These variables you can refer in the in your code with the help of os.environ library. So you'll have to import os and then call os.environ. Basically, you have to paste the key and its value will be placed in a variable called destination bucket. So this destination bucket is actually going to be, so basically you can say this line of code, line number 13, let me copy it actually, or let me full screen it. So line number 13 and line number 12 are actually doing same thing, but line number doing is this with the help of environment variables. So how is it different is, like, this is hard coded. Okay, line number 13 you can see the actual value of the variable. On line number 12 you cannot. So sometimes in some highly secure project, they might create environment variables and they will not give access to read the variables or change the variables. Okay, so like that it will be. So whenever, let's say, you want to connect to some server, so it will be like server name, server password, server ID and all those things, but their actual values will be hidden from you. So this is the use of environment variables. So you can create these things whenever you need some secure variables. Okay, I mean, for normal variables also you can create if you want to be your code like that, but difference is like that only. If you want to be more secure, you can use environment variables. Environment variables can be encrypted as well. Okay. Then more in the configurations, we have tags. We know tags. VPC, you can launch this function in the VPC. Again, this is the security part. Monitoring and operations, we know. Okay, we have already seen the monitor page. We have CloudWatch log group, and we have some metrics being generated there. So if you can see, let's set it to custom. Let's say 6 months. In last 6 months, you can see this is the graph for this function. How many times it has been invocation, what is the maximum duration, error count, concussions, all those things are actually mentioned here. Then what else we have? Concurrency basically means how many current versions of the function can be executed. Okay, so this basically says 10. Okay, so it depends completely on the requirement of yours. Let's say if you would like to have thousands of functions running at the same time, you can also do that. For free accounts, max is 10. If you want to have only one account or one concurrent operation, then you can set it to 1 also. So basically this means how many threads of this particular function can be executed in the parallel time. Then you have some other options like asynchronous invocation, code signing to get the approvals from your leaders before deploying this function. Proxies, that is something related to security again. File system, if you want to configure a file system for this function inside your VPC. Okay, and state machines. State machines are nothing but step functions. Okay, here you can design the flow with the help of I mean, let's do a simple one. So let's say you choose blank and I click next. Okay, something like this I will get here. Okay, so I can invoke a Lambda function. Then I can choose a flow. I can say parallel. Once this Lambda function is successful, I can run parallel things. What parallels you want? I can run AWS glue job. I can run AWS SNS notification. So this kind of flow you can actually create with the help of step functions. So if you want to have all Lambda functions invoked here, you can do that as well. If you want to have this kind of flow with multiple technologies, you can also do that part. So step functions are nothing but you can design a flow here. Obviously, they do have a more power and more capacity that you can check out later, but it's actually fairly easy to do so, and it's fairly mostly to control the flow. This is something like Airflow, you can say. Okay, Airflow and step functions are something similar thing. There also you can design the flows. Here also you can design the flows, but this is like restricting to AWS environment, and Airflow is kind of a tool that can handle your SQL, Python, Spark, Hive, Hadoop, all those things. So yes, this is all from my end from Lambda functions. If you have any more questions, you can let me know. We will be seeing some more examples going through this project.
Shailesh, can you please show that test one again? There was
Yeah,
a manual test, right?
yeah, just click on this small arrow here, configure test event, provide a name here, and then you can pass the values here. Basically, it's like if I say in simple words, now whatever dictionary you pass here, the same will be passed to your event variable.
Jalaj, we can run without using this test also.
Yes, if you are not using your event variable, then you can definitely do so. Like we are doing in our IAM function, okay? If you come back here, IAM key check. Like here, if you see this event variable, I'm not using, okay? It is just there for namesake because it has, this is the like function definition type. If I modify this event, doesn't matter if I change these values or nothing, or if I don't change these values, it's not going to affect my function.
Oh, got it.
Can you show the S3 backup one? Yeah, so for this, we are not adding trigger and we are directly pasting this code and running it, right? Shailesh, are you speaking? I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
I'm saying if you see this kind of code where you are using the event variable, this basically means you are triggering the function. So this is again triggered from the S3 bucket only.
Okay, can you please show it in AWS Lambda again?
You have to come on functions. So this is the one. I mean, you click on this S3. Will take you to trigger. This is the trigger. This triggering from this bucket, different bucket from input folder. And this again on object create state only.
Okay.
Yes, in that case, we'll move.
Jalaj, your voice is very low actually.
Let me check it. Is it better than earlier?
Oh, still it's same.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
We'll come on AWS Glue. Okay, so AWS Glue is ETL tool. Okay, it's a extract, transform, load tool that is you can say it's kind of a heart of data engineering projects. Mostly you are going to work here only. Okay, it's not going to be Lambda function. It's not going to be S3. But I mean S3 is just a storage part. It's a very simple thing. But most of your day-to-day work is going towards your AWS glues. Okay, it might be on Lambda functions, depends on your project, how they are handling it. But yeah, this is something you will definitely use. Okay. So if you land on this home page, you get variety of options here. So if you come on ETL jobs, this is what AWS Glue Studio looks like. Okay, give me a minute. It's completely different than last week. Okay. Okay, so earlier we had 5 options here. Okay, so now we have 3 options. I mean, this is much better than earlier. So we have only 3 variety of things. Okay, either we can create visual jobs. Okay, or we can create interactive notebooks that I'll show you later, and or we can code with this Glue Studio with the Spark script editor. Okay. Not sure whether they still have it. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, it's still same. So let me just keep it clean for you. What AWS Glue does? Okay. We have AWS Glue. Provides you 2 options. Okay. It provides you 2 engine option. First one is basically Spark shell, and second one is basically your Python. Spark shell basically comes with 2 options. One is PySpark. Second one is basically your Scala Spark. Okay. So differences here is like in the engine options. Spark is actually more powerful. Engine. Okay. And Python is like normal Python engine. So as it says, see, as it's more obvious. So if you have huge data, complex calculations, in that case, you will go for Spark Shell. It is more powerful. It's a distributed compute engine. We will discuss the Spark in details in the Spark lectures. Okay, but obviously at the same time it is more costlier. And if you check out the Python shell, this is more normal Python version. That's something like you can say Anaconda tool. Okay, and it's a simple Python engine that you can run only Python code, not Scala or PySpark. And obviously it is much cheaper. Okay, so this is what we have. We have three options. Either we can launch a Glue notebook with a Spark shell. Either we can launch a complete script editor, or we can launch a Visual ETL. Visual ETL basically means you can drag and drop the item, something like SSIS, Teradata, Informatica, IBM DataStage, Talent, these tools, or Azure Databricks. Okay, this is what we can use for such use cases. So these three are like the tools that that allows you to do transformations, extractions, or load of your data. Okay, but Glue also has one more feature, that is Glue Data Catalog. Okay, in Glue Data Catalog, you can see we have this option. Okay, we have this option where we have some tables, databases, and some data. Okay, so let's learn about this part feature. Okay, this is the easiest one, so we will start with this one today. So any questions still here?
No from here.
Okay. So in data catalog, if you see, we have multiple options like crawlers, connections, and databases. So databases is nothing but you click on databases, you can click on add database, provide a name, click on create database, and your database is created. This concept is exactly same as your SQL database. You create a database to store multiple tables, and database is nothing but a logical grouping of your tables. Okay, so you can create HR database to store HR tables. You can create sales database to store your sales data table, something like that. Okay, then you have crawlers. This is something that we need to learn. So what is a crawler? A crawler is a functionality in AWS Glue that can connect with variety of data sources, mostly S3 service, where it checks your data and it creates schemas of your data into a table that can be utilized for SQL query purpose in a service called AWS Athena. Okay, if I simplify and broke this, so when you create a crawler, okay, let's say you have a S3 bucket. This is the, okay. Here I should have countries and regions. Okay. Let's actually rename this folder. It doesn't provide. Do I have rename option? No, I don't have. So then let it be. Okay. So what basically happens? Let's say I have this folder, countries. Inside this, I have one more folder, two more folders, countries and regions. And then let's say I have countries folder. Okay. This has some data. Okay. If I show it to you, it has some data. It's a CSV file. If I query it, okay, it will not work here because this file is not UTF-8. Maybe I have the UTF-8 version also. Let's do it. Let's try that one. Upload. Just give me a minute. Huh? I think this is the one I converted. Not sure about this also, but let's try. If it works, it's fine. Otherwise, we will go to the now. So let's try to select this file. If it works, SQL query, it works. Okay, so you can see I have some data. In the first row, I have column names, then I have their values. Okay, and it is separated by comma. Now, if I want to create a table from this, okay, if I want to write some proper SQL queries, because with select we can only write this single SQL query, we can only remove the limits. Otherwise, we cannot do anything. Like we cannot do any group by operations. We can, I mean, whatever we try to do with SQL, like joining, filtering, where clauses, aggregations, anything we cannot do here. Okay. So what crawler helps you to do is, okay, if I come back to the main topic, crawlers basically reads or you can say scans your data to a given location, and then it creates table for you in Athena, okay, that you can use for the SQL querying purpose. Crawlers allowed you to update your table, modify your table, partitions your data, and take actions when some data or column is being dropped from your sources. Okay, so let's how to do it. Okay, I mean it might be a bit confusing for now, but let's do it let's do one example, then you can ask the questions. Okay, so I will say create crawler. I'll provide a name. Let's say test crawler. Okay, I'll provide a name. Click on next. You can skip descriptions if you want. You can provide as well. So it says, do you already have your data mapped to glue tables? So right now we have not. Okay. Before that, actually, let's drop few tables. Databases, and I will say remove this table database. I don't want this. I'll create a database. Again, same name one. Example. Okay, I've created a fresh database. Okay, so I want to avoid confusion. So this is clean now. So now it is asking, do you already have a table mapped to AWS glue tables? So our answer is obviously not yet. So we will choose a data source. Okay, click on add a data source. We will use S3 for this demo, but you can see we can connect with DynamoDB, Delta Lakes, Iceberg, Hoodie, some external tools. Okay, and any JDBC supported connections we can use here. So I'll choose S3 only. For S3, no network connection is actually provided. Okay, your bucket is in the same account, so I'll choose the bucket, and I will choose this countries folder. Okay, remember I'm choosing countries folder. I'm not going inside the countries folder where I have like if you check out this layout here, it is like countries, and then it has like this is where I'm choosing. This is the path I'm giving. So if I do copy SCORI, okay, this is the path I'm giving. Okay, not coming inside countries or regions. Okay, so I come back here. I'll choose this location, and then it asks few questions. Subsequent crawler runs, like in the next crawler, like let's say for the first time it is okay, but what next time you would like to do with this? Okay, you would like to crawl all subfolders. Subfolder basically means this thing. Okay, when the crawler is executed on the consecutive times, would you like to crawl all these two folders? I will say yes, it is like that only. But you have few other options. Crawl new subfolders only, like if you're in the next time, and if you have any updates in these two folders, like your some data has been modified, that will not reflect in your table because you are saying crawl new subfolders only. In that case, if one more folder is created inside this location, only that folder will be scanned for the new changes. Okay, so old folders will not be scanned again and again. But we are choosing the first option, so we are going to scan again and again. And then you have option of crawl based on events. So whenever the SC file is triggered, based on that you can crawl. Okay, Obviously, you have some excluding file matching excluding files matching patterns. If you want to exclude few files from the sources, or you can, if you want to, just simply like you have a very huge files and you will only like to see some samples, that also you can do here. But for now, we are simply selecting crawl all subfolders and selecting add a S3 data source. Then I will choose next. This will need a IAM role, so I will choose AWS Glue Access. Okay, this role, how I have created is I have gone to IAM page, roles, service type. I choose AWS Glue, not Lambda functions, because this role we are trying to assign to Glue service. We will choose AWS Glue, and then I have provided this S3 full access service policy. Okay, S3 full access service policy is actually required, and also one more policy, that is AWS Glue service role. Okay, if I come on this role view, I mean, it will be better if I show the policies. It has actually many policies for now. Okay, you do not need all these for now. You need Glue service role, this one, and you need this one, AWS S3 full access. That is all you need for now. If you attach all the policies, that is also it's not going to hurt anything. Actually, it's it's just good that if you attach all the policies. So this will be yours one and only IAM role for all your Glues demos. Okay. So if I come back again to the same topic, I have chosen the IAM role. Then you have the, if you want to use this data catalog as a AWS Lake function, you can use that. You just simply click on this box and move forward. You can choose a database. Example DB is the fine. If you would like to add some prefixes in your table names, okay, so right now by default table names will be like countries and regions. Okay, but if you like to have some different table names, maybe product, your initials or your team's initial or your project's initial, you can do those. So I'll say test only. Okay, then we have one more thing to understand, that is advanced options. In this, first option is create a single schema, okay, for each S3 path. This basically means if you come back here on the S3, see this path is different. Okay, let's copy this. I have one more under the same countries folder. Okay, I have two paths. Then this path is obviously different. And if I try to create a single schema for this path, okay, basically what is happening, this region files has 2 columns, okay, and this countries file has around 8, I mean multiple columns. Okay, I don't remember the exact number of columns, but this has multiple columns. So I'll just delete one of these because I don't want duplicates. So if I do not select this option, okay, if I do not select this option, what will happen? 2 different tables are going to be created. One with test hyphen countries, test hyphen comes from here, prefix. Then test hyphen regions. But if I say a single schema, in that case, only single table is going to be created, and that table will have the columns of countries schema and columns of your regions schema. Okay, so it's like 2 tables are going to be merged. So obviously, for our use case, that one we have right now, it is not required. Okay. Then it asks 2 questions. When the crawler executes and it detects schema changes. Okay, let's say I have 2 columns, like say I have 10 columns in this one, and in future there are changes. Okay, there are changes, like 2 more columns have been added. Then what would you like to do this? Okay, so you will say update the table definition in the data catalog. That means your table will reflect the changes. It will add new columns only. Like if you delete the columns or modify the columns, those will not be detected, but only the new columns will be detected. Or simply you want to ignore the change, that also you can do. Okay. Then second question is, what should it do with the delete objects? Let's say in future I go ahead and delete this one folder. This one, if I go and delete this in the future, when the crawler runs next time, it will only find data for this table. Okay, it will only find data for this table. In that case, what to do with this one? Okay, I mean Athena table will be created. Okay, so when the crawler executes finally, actually, to just give you knowledge, Athena table will be created. So basically, these questions are for Athena tables. Okay, or you can say the tables that are going to be created inside the data catalog. So once the data is not there, you can delete the table, you can ignore the change, or you can mark the table as deprecated. So you have three options. Let's choose the default one only. Then I will simply click on next and I will say create crawler. Then I will run this crawler. Okay, this will take around a minute or two. And just FYI, crawler running is not free of cost even on the free tier account. So this is going to cost you around 5 or 10 rupees per execution. Depending on the size of your data. So try to keep your data size as low as possible. Okay, you can see it is completed and it says 2 table changes. Okay, so now if I come back to tables, I have test-countries, test-regions. Okay, you can see we have option to view the table data. So once you click on this, this will redirect you towards AWS Athena editor. Okay, this will redirect you towards AWS Athena editor. If you run the query, you can see the output here. And this is something like your normal SQL where you can apply where filters. Okay, you can come here and you can say where country code, not country code. Let's select some other column. Let's say where region ID is 50 or 40 or 10. Okay, so let's say I choose region ID equals to 10. This query. It is a type of big int, so I'll have to remove the double quotes, single quotes actually. If I run this query, I'll get the results. Okay, so all those groups, joins, where conditions, you can write in a Athena editor. So we will discuss more about the Athena editor and its use cases. But let's come back on crawler. So if you have, I will take a pause, think about this complete process again, and if you have any questions, come back to me.
Jalaj, crawler is kind of an view only, right? On the data will be on same S3 bucket. We are just building a structure on top of it, right?
Yes, actually.
So the data remains only in S3. It won't keep a separate database kind of thing like Oracle or Teradata.
No. It is not storing a copy of your data. Once you delete the data, our table will be empty.
Oh. Also, is this the only option to create the crawler? Like we use on a web page or any other programmable way also?
You can use cloud formations, you can write Python code, you can use scripts all those things. You can automate this.
Okay.
Jalaj, so these tables created, so this CSV data what we have, it is for structured only, or can have any like semi-structured or unstructured data also?
Okay, so Ashwarya, I have to clear you one thing. CSV is semi-structured. Okay, some people also call it unstructured, but it's definitely not a structured. Structured basically means data in DBMS, where you have all the meta information like primary key, foreign key, it's properly indexed and all those things. Okay, these files are semi-structured, you can say. Then to answer your questions, you have the option. I was about to come to this. This option is classifiers. So I mean, again, I will come back to. I mean, let's see these classifiers. Let's say you say add classifier, give a name. Then you have 4 types, okay, of classifiers. You can use JSON files, CSV files, XML files. By default, it is CSV files with a comma delimited and double quotes as a code symbol. But let's say if you use CSV and your fields are separated with not with comma, let's say with it's a single quote separator, or fields are separated with some other character like pipe. Then you can create this pipe. You can modify these settings accordingly. You can also do it for JSON. You can modify the JSON path and all those settings. Okay. Then you can create this. Once you create a custom classifier, you can come on crawlers. While you are creating it, okay, while you're creating it, let's say you give us some name, add a data source, and come back. Actually, custom classifier option is there. If you have already created, like I have one, you can use that one. Okay, this works like this. It is not only for CSV, it is only for also for JSON, Parquet, XML, like that. And even in the CSVs, you can modify some settings like what is the separator, code characters, all those things you can definitely change. But yeah, remember, if in interview you say CSV is a structured data set, you are out.
Okay.
Yes, any more questions?
So just a simple question. So you are showing some external connector like JDBC connector. So instead of this S3 bucket, I can use the connector also as a source system, right? So suppose
Yes.
I want to migrate a Teradata to, I think most of the project Teradata to AWS, so I can use those things, right?
Yes, but see, a crawler is actually not migrating your data. You have to remember that part.
Yeah.
It is simply creating a schema of your table on Glue data catalogs. That's why I say mostly it is S3 that is being used as a source. It's not your actual data, DB2, SQL systems. That service to actually get the data is DMS, data migration service. I mean, one thing you can do, you can create the connections. Okay. And you can crawl those tables and still your data is there. Then you can read the data with the help of AWS Glue jobs and then migrate it. But again, it's going to be costly affair and slow affair. So we will have to use some other migration tools. If it is like a 1 or 2 tables, that you can definitely do.
So what is the use case of the scroller? So for every project we'll be using scroller, or how this works?
No, it's not like that. Actual use case comes to Athena. Okay, this is what you want to do. Okay, so let's say you have some data in S3. Let's say you have thousands of files, okay, in this format, and some of the files or some of the data you like to SQLite, okay, without pushing into data warehouse like Snowflake or your Redshift. You would like to do some SQL, maybe some validations, maybe some filtering, maybe some transformations, maybe some joins, aggregations, all those things you will like to do it. Okay, that you can achieve with the crawlers. So you crawl the data, you create this Athena tables, and then you come on Athena editor and write SQL queries to do that part. Now Athena is actually a serverless feature. Okay, so it charges you based on the amount of data you scan, and every time you scan. Okay, so if you run very huge queries, very complex queries, again Athena is not built for that thing. Athena is built for simplest of data visualization and filtering. I mean, see, on S3 we cannot visualize the data. Okay, it's like the SS select is also available for 125 MB files. What if we have a GB of file? What if we have some more MBs of file? Or maybe we'd like to do some filtering, some group actions, and then do some actions. Those things you can use at those points. You can use Athena. Some of the projects might use Athena as a source and target as well. Okay, they will read and create the final versions of the tables in Athena only. In what cases? Where they have not huge data. Okay, where data is only limited to GBs. It is not in petabytes or high number of GBs, or they are not using any complex calculations in the SQL. Okay, so Athena is an analytical service that allows you to run SQL queries on top of your S3 data with the help of crawlers, where you can run some SQL operations, but not on very hugely complex data and huge size of data. For such things, we have AWS Redshift.
Yep.
Yes, so this is all from my end for today. Okay, we will start with Spark in the next class. Okay, but yeah, if you have any more questions, you can let me know.
Can you show me this Athena alone, how we went from AWS Glue Console?
Okay, two ways are there. Either you can come on data catalog, tables, and click on view table data, or you can simply type Athena over there. Like that.
No.
Okay. Actually, now on Athena, they also have query editor. There is also one more thing, that is Spark and Spark SQL. Okay. Again, it's the same thing. Okay. It allows basically it's a Glue notebook that we have on the Glue console. That also you can directly launch it on with the Athena. So basically, whether you launch it via Glue console or this console, it's same thing. Same thing is here with Trino SQL. It's actually same thing. Whether you launch it via Glue console data catalog or you launch it via here, it's the same thing. Same editor you are getting. Okay. And see, Athena and Redshift are kind of very similar services where you can run the queries, but their use cases, the capacity is different. So whenever you see these things, you have to answer based on the scenarios. Okay. You can see querying AWS service logs, not very huge complex. Extract, transform, and load, but again limited to a range. Query from any data source. So when you have very, I mean, this say, but nobody actually uses this query. Okay, this is something like you asked. You have some tables on your Teradata, and you have some tables on your S3, and you like to join those tables, you can use Athena's federated queries. But again, it's not. It is there. Option is there, but nobody uses this option. I mean, at least I haven't seen in my experience that somebody is using these queries. And you can see it is charging you based on per data per amount of TB scanned. It's not like that you are scanning a TB of data at once. So if I'm scanning 1 GB of data and if I run 50 queries a day, that is 50 GB of data I have scanned. It's like $2.50 for scanning part. Then you have charges for then you have to pay charges for this also. What storage size, maintenance size, and all those. So you can say $3 per hour per day. You'll have to pay around that. And if you have multiple users, then its bills might be higher. So Athena is something, if I tell you, it is not something that you should waste too much time. If you know SQL, you can say you know Athena. You just need to understand its use cases and how it actually connects and works with S3. That's all that we have covered today.
So Athena, right? We don't productionize the code, right? Like suppose now for like big data something, we'll be writing a wrapper script and just run the job, which is like kind of productionized. So Athena, we can't do like that, right?
How do I answer this? Okay, let's come here. Okay, you can save the queries. I think you can schedule them also. No. So if we cannot schedule them, then we definitely cannot productionize like that to run the queries based on time. So this is just more of a exploratory tool. Okay, it's not something where you will get the proper results, or it's not something to. This is not a compute engine. Okay, just understand this is not a compute engine. This is not have any huge power associated with this. This is just simply to verify, visualize, and check your data kind of thing. Earlier in one of my projects, I was using Athena to publish reports or publish it on Power BI, but it was very slow. It was like taking 5 minutes or 10 minutes to refresh the data. That was a lot of a good use case. You can definitely connect this to Power BI. It's a tricky one actually, but it's not worth of doing that. See, in the cloud engine, you have to understand the work. You might, I mean, how do I explain this? Okay, so let's say you want to travel. Okay, if you want to travel too much far, you might book an airplane. If you want to travel close by only, I mean, yes, airplane is the fastest, but again, it's not worth to take a airplane for 50 kilometers ride or 100 kilometer rides. Or if it's like just a kilometer or two, then you might use bike only. Like it's like that. You have to understand the proper use case for proper service. This is like a bike for small rides. It's not your airplane where you can go heavily.
Yep.
Okay, then this is all from my end for today. We'll meet tomorrow then. Thank you. If you have any question, then I can wait. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, Aishwarya, you good?
Yes, Jalaj, I'm good.
Okay, then I'll request you to please try out and create this crawler. Let's pay those 5-10 rupees or 15, whatever it is charging you. Okay, 1 or 2 times you just try and execute this, and it will give you confidence. Okay, but remember, do not try it with a very huge files. Just keep your files in KBs only. Okay, in that case, thanks guys. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you all.